Factor Investigation segment tonight, we've been reporting on the murder of 33-year-old Jesse Benavides, shot dead by a criminal illegal alien in Texas. Mr. Benavides, father of an 8-year-old boy, was killed in Dallas, allegedly by 31-year-old Santana Gauna, an illegal from Mexico. Gauna had been deported twice and was being held by Dallas authorities on charges of sexual assault. But a federal agency wanted him released from jail. So they asked ICE to expedite the process, which ICE did. Took us a couple of weeks, but that agency that wanted Gauna released is the FBI. We have now confirmed that. Joining us from Washington, Examiner reporter Sarah Carter. So why did the FBI get involved in this case, Sarah?
He was an informant. Mr. Gauna was an informant for multiple agencies for a number of years. And this I've confirmed with numerous federal law enforcement officials. And this is such a tragedy, Bill. But this is the reality that we live in. Considering these thugs and these drug cartels have penetrated our nation in such a way that our law enforcement agencies are constantly reliant upon criminals like Mr. Gauna to gain information on them. And obviously, this led to the death of an innocent man.
Let's try to get a little bit more specific. Here you have a guy who's deported twice by ICE.
Correct.
Kicked out of the country twice. He comes back in, obviously. All right? The authorities in Texas, in Dallas, say he sexually assaulted his girlfriend or whatever. They arrest him.
Yes.
It's a serious charge. I mean, it's a big felony.
Yeah, a very serious charge. He sexually assaulted his estranged wife. Mm-hmm.
Right, so he's in jail. So the FBI, the largest federal criminal agency,
correct,
intervenes, all right, asks Homeland Security, we need to get this guy out, which overrides the Dallas authorities. I guess the DA in Dallas could have resisted, but he didn't. So they put Gauna out. And a short time later, he kills Benavides. All right, now there's an 8-year-old without a dad. Now, what would make Gauna that valuable that the FBI would allow a guy who's got a sexual assault felony beef and deported twice out on the street unsupervised?
Deported twice, and in 2003 he was arrested for driving in an unauthorized vehicle, which that isn't explained fully either by the law enforcement officials that I've been speaking with. Look, this was a major case. This was a major case against a major drug cartel, and all these agencies, the FBI, the DEA, and ICE, were all using Gauna to gain information on a cartel which they will not reveal to me. But it's out now.
All right,
he was
so this was
informant.
a cartel play. It was a cartel play. One of the Mexican cartels who are terrorizing Mexico is operating in the United States to some extent, probably on a smuggling basis. Gauna, according to your sources, knows about the cartels, and he's cooperating with the FBI, feeding the FBI information. That's the scenario?
That's the scenario. When I asked, here's a man who sexually assaulted, was arrested for sexually assaulting his estranged wife. He's in jail. He is a violent offender at this point. Why would he be released back out into the streets? And according to the federal law enforcement officials that I spoke to, they said there was no evidence. There was no evidence because those charges were dropped. There was no evidence that he would commit this type of act of violence. They did say that they regretted that decision, and this case is now under review
but it's more,
at the
it's more than
FBI,
that,
the DEA, and ICE. And sure, it is more than that.
There's more than that because they weren't supervising this guy. If they let him out, and the charges weren't dropped when they let him out. They just let him out. They got him out of there, and then they let him go. He can do whatever he wants. There's nobody watching him. There's only you got to report in every day, or you have to do this, or you have to do that. And the guy's got a gun. The guy, he's armed.
And an innocent man lost his life because of this. And I think this is the tragedy. This is not just an anomaly. We see things like this happening off and on where ICE releases a criminal alien back into society and they commit another crime, another heinous crime. And now that this case has been brought to their attention and it's under review, I don't know if that gives any solace to the family and to the son who's lost his father.
To be fair, we know. And we respect the FBI, and we respect Homeland Security and the DEA, and we know they have to deal with unsavory people. We know that.
That's right.
All right, because you don't have somebody walking into a cartel like, here I am, I want to be a member.
That's
Thugs
right.
have to be used. We know that. But they also have to be supervised. And in this case, they won't.
They do.
Sarah, thanks very much. Plenty more ahead.